I want to welcome you back to BLACKSITE tonight. We're going to talk about the Katt Williams interview with Shannon Sharpe. The name of this video is Katt versus Everybody. First, I would like for you to subscribe to this channel. Hit that like button, hit that notification button, but also comment on this video. Katt Williams went on Club Shay Shannon Sharpe's podcast and named names. It could be one of the most controversial interviews of all time. He went after his fellow comedians and how they became successful in all the lies and stealing that they have done in the past to make themselves successful, in the things that they have done behind the scenes that we don't even know about. This video has almost garnered 20 million views after 3 days. The video is so explosive that these comedians had to answer to Katt Williams. We should start with our good friend Steve Harvey, a man who doesn't care about integrity. All he cares about is money. We seen that when he did that interview with Monique, and she talked about integrity. But we have seen since this interview the things he has done, how he has lied about being homeless, how he has stolen from Mark Curry and Katt Williams, and the things he has done behind the scenes with his own staff has shown Steve Harvey not to be the man that he portrays himself to be on the air. See, Katt Williams pulled back the decadent veil of how you become successful, how a Cedric the Entertainer, who is quite funny, he stole jokes and did different things to become successful, because in this industry, you don't get where you at because you're talented. You have to give a piece of yourself. And it seems like many of them, like Katt Williams said, they had to put on that dress to prove to those who happen to be in power, because their whole job, if you really want to know, is to emasculate the black male. See, you have to understand, pictures mean a lot in this industry. It means so much historically, is that when a child or girl sees a black and white doll, she picks that doll. But they now want you to see that man in a dress, so your child can become that man in a dress. So people like Rickey Smiley, that he attacked over Money Mike, which is one of the most classic performances in comedy in Friday. We see Rickey Smiley and so many others putting that dress on to bow down to those in power, those who happen to be behind the scenes in the LGBTQ community. See, when he goes after Kevin Hart, who is basically the top earner when it comes to comedians, because they put him in that position. The reason why he's short, he's not masculine. Yes, he is quite funny, but why him? Why not Katt Williams? Why did Kevin Hart run a smear campaign behind Katt Williams, saying if he didn't use drugs? This is the type of stuff that's going on with these comedians. And I'm glad he gave Mark Curry the accolades that he deserved, because Steve Harvey had been stealing from him for years. See, we have to understand, you're selected, because there's plenty of comedians out there who are funnier, who are smarter, but they will pick those who will bow down to the system. And Katt refuses to bow down to this system. Katt told you about the Ludacris. It was him and Ludacris. And they picked Ludacris. And he talked about the 10-year, $200 million, in which he has done 10 episodes of Fast and Furious. When it comes out in the wash, Katt Williams has been telling the truth, but there will be those out there who disagree with him, saying he's hating on everybody, but he's not. He's letting you know that you sometimes have to do something behind the scenes to get ahead in this business that he refuses to do. He has support from left wing, conservative wing, because we know how the power structure runs. If you don't believe in what they're saying, if you don't believe in the decadent veil of Hollywood, you will not, I repeat, you will not get ahead. And people like Steve Harvey, who has done everything to make his millions, has shown that he has no integrity. How many of these guys actually have integrity? Corey Holcomb for years has been talking about this on the 5150 podcast about Steve Harvey and certain comedians. And one thing he said that I really liked when he talked about Tiffany Haddish. You remember old loudmouth Tiffany Haddish and her Nene dancing? They picked her. She was selected because there's plenty of women out there funnier than her. Why did they pick her? What did she do to get where she was at? See, you have to understand, everything is not based on your talent. Here's a woman, when Monique came out, she attacked Monique for asking to be paid fairly with Amy Schumer. But years later, she's on the out. See what happens? Your karma hits you sometimes so fast, you can't even see it coming. But you notice Steve Harvey hasn't said anything. Rickey Smiley has tried to dispute or clarify things with Katt Williams on how he got his part. Cedric the Entertainer has made a post. Nobody really wants to confront Katt Williams because he's lethal. He's extremely lethal. You see Kevin Hart in his arrogant self talks about his upcoming Netflix movie because, see, Kevin Hart has that short man complex. He thinks he's the best. But really, when it comes down to it, sitting on the top of the mountain, you got Dave Chappelle and Katt Williams. And everybody knows it. Everybody knows what's going on. But they don't say nothing because it'll interrupt their money flow. This was one of the great interviews of all times because he said something white actors would never say. He told the truth about the game. Now you know who's on top, who's on the bottom, and why it has happened. I want to thank you for listening